What if I told you a football legend got rejected 5 times, fought for 8 years, and is now building a $1.3 billion stadium that could change MLS forever? This is the story of David Beckham's Miami Freedom Park, a dream that seemed impossible from the start. For nearly a decade, his proposals were crushed by powerful opposition and blocked by politicians. 5 different locations, 8 years of searching. It looked like this stadium would never happen. Then, everything changed when new partners stepped in and the world's greatest player arrived, transforming Inter Miami overnight. Now, just weeks away from the April 2026 opening, what's rising from the ground is the most ambitious project in MLS history. An entertainment empire featuring the league's largest tensile cable roof, hotels, retail spaces, and Miami's biggest new public park in generations. After 8 years of rejection and political warfare, Miami Freedom Park is finally becoming reality. This is how David Beckham turned the impossible into the inevitable. To understand why Miami Freedom Park is such a big deal, you need to hear about Beckham's incredible road to get there. And it all started with a contract clause nobody thought he'd actually use. Back in 2007, when Beckham signed with the LA Galaxy, his manager Simon Fuller slipped something brilliant into the contract: an option to buy a future MLS expansion team for just $25 million, instead of the usual price. Fast forward to February 2014, and Beckham shocked everyone by exercising that option, creating Miami Beckham United. But there was one massive condition: no stadium deal, no team. So in March 2014, Beckham unveiled his first proposal: a stunning 25,000-seat waterfront stadium at Port Miami, right next to the Miami Heat's arena. The renderings looked incredible: a modern stadium with sweeping canopy-style roofs, dramatic views of downtown Miami's skyline, and a pedestrian bridge connecting fans directly from Biscayne Boulevard. The location was perfect, right on the water, in the heart of downtown. But that's when the opposition began. Royal Caribbean Cruises, which had its own development plans for that area, formed the Miami Seaport Alliance, a powerful coalition of port companies and unions. They launched an aggressive campaign with billboards and ads claiming the stadium would create traffic chaos and interfere with cruise operations. The political pressure became unbearable. On April 8, 2014, Miami-Dade commissioners refused to relocate a fuel facility that needed to move to build the stadium. Just weeks later, the commissioners delivered a crushing 11-1 vote against the proposal, a total political defeat. Beckham didn't give up. Within days, Miami-Dade Mayor Carlos Jimenez proposed something ambitious: filling in a deep-water boat slip between the Heat Arena and Museum Park to create a brand-new waterfront site. On May 22, 2014, Beckham's team revealed completely new renderings: a 20,000-seat stadium built on 4.2 acres of parkland, while adding 8.5 acres by filling the water basin. The design placed the stadium parallel to Biscayne Boulevard, with park connections on 3 sides and restaurants and shops surrounding it. An unused drawbridge would be converted into a pedestrian park. On paper, it looked beautiful, but the problems were massive. Filling a deep basin would cost $20 million just for pumping and rock transport. The land was owned jointly by the city and the county, meaning approvals were needed from multiple groups of commissioners. Nearby condo residents complained it would block their ocean views. Critics argued against using public parking for a private stadium, and Miami's charter required a public vote. By June 2014, lease negotiations had completely collapsed. Mayor Tomas Regalado rejected the proposal, marking the second major collapse in just 3 months. After that, the search turned into a string of failures. A site near Marlins Park was rejected by MLS, and a private overtown proposal fell apart after community backlash over fears of gentrification. By that point, nearly 4 years had passed, 5 different locations, endless political battles. That's when Jorge and Jose Mas, Miami-based brothers who lead Maztac, a massive construction company, officially joined the ownership group in 2017 and changed everything. In July 2018, Beckham and the Mas brothers unveiled the vision for Miami Freedom Park. And this time, it wasn't just a stadium, it was a complete transformation. A 25,000-seat stadium and a 58-acre public park, the largest new park in Miami's history. On top of that, the owners would pay $20 million a year for 30 years to improve public parks across the entire city. Finally, on April 28, 2022, the Miami City Commission voted 4-1 to approve the 99-year lease. After 8 years of searching, 5 rejections, and political warfare, Beckham had his stadium. But getting approval was only the beginning. Now they actually had to build it. So what exactly are they building? And why is everyone calling it the future of MLS stadiums? The design reveals something far more ambitious than just a place to watch soccer. The centerpiece is a 25,000-seat soccer-specific stadium designed by Arquitectonica, a Miami firm, working with Manica, 2 firms known for creating some of the world's most iconic sports venues. But here's the first surprise. The capacity is deliberately modest. Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium holds 75,000. Charlotte's Bank of America Stadium seats 74,000. So why did Miami choose just 25,000? The answer is atmosphere and exclusivity. Smaller venues create tighter, more electric environments where every seat feels close to the action. And with Lionel Messi now wearing pink and black, demand is out of control. Ticket prices jumped from $29 to $459 for his debut. Creating scarcity pushes prices higher and makes every match feel like an event. The stadium's most distinctive feature will be the largest tensile cable canopy roof in Major League Soccer. This isn't a traditional solid roof. It's a lightweight fabric structure suspended by cables based on a spoked wheel design. What makes it special? The PTFE membrane cladding is semi-transparent, letting natural light filter through while still providing protection from Miami's intense sun and rain. The seating bowl is engineered specifically for soccer, a 2-tier design with an elevated main concourse to ensure excellent sight lines from every seat. One entire sideline will be dedicated to premium seating, club seats, suites, and a press box housed in a premium tower. Inside, the fan experience will be completely different from their current temporary home in Fort Lauderdale. Wide concourses instead of cramped walkways, state-of-the-art LED screens in every corner for replays and content, and advanced Wi-Fi connectivity throughout the stadium. But here's where Miami Freedom Park gets really interesting, because this isn't just a stadium. It's a 131-acre entertainment empire designed to operate 365 days a year. The full development will include over 1 million square feet of office space, retail, restaurants, and entertainment. 3 hotel buildings will add 750 rooms total, serving both stadium visitors and travelers from the nearby Miami International Airport. Jorge Mas Canosa Park, named after co-owner Jorge Mas's father, will become Miami's largest new public park at 58 acres. It will feature walking loops, community soccer fields, plazas, and green space. Originally, 11 community soccer fields were promised, but the final plans show a minimum of 6, an increase that sparked controversy with some local groups. With such massive ambitions across 131 acres, the next question is, can they actually build it all? Building a billion-dollar entertainment complex is hard enough. Building it on toxic waste in just 2.5 years while betting everything on one player? That sounds like either genius or total madness. Construction kicked off in August 2023 when the Mel Reese Golf Course shut down for good. The target, April 4, 2026, just 30 months to transform a contaminated golf course into the most ambitious project in MLS history. But first, they had to deal with what was buried underneath. The contamination was a nightmare. Environmental testing revealed arsenic levels more than twice the legal limit. Why? Because this land was Miami's dumping ground for decades. Old Smoky, the city's municipal incinerator, burned garbage here from the 1920s through the 1970s, leaving up to 10 feet of toxic ash buried underground. When Mayor Francis Suarez saw the results in August 2019, he shut down the golf course immediately. The cleanup alone could cost $50 million, and Inter Miami's owners committed to paying every penny out of pocket. Fast forward to November 2025, and the transformation is impressive. Steel structures rising, the stadium bowl taking shape, massive cranes dominating the skyline. In a symbolic moment, owners Jorge Mas, and David Beckham signed one of the final steel beams with the phrase "Freedom to Dream" before it was lifted into place. Even with that progress, the road hasn't been smooth. The schedule has already slipped once, and not by a little. When construction began in August 2023, owner Jorge Mas publicly promised a 2025 opening. But by July 2024, that date quietly shifted to 2026, with no clear public explanation ever given for what caused the delay. Another flashpoint is the park itself. The 58-acre Jorge Mascanosa Park was promised to open fully alongside the stadium under the 2018 voter agreement. But in December 2025, officials confirmed it would be delivered in phases: basic green space in April 2026, playgrounds months later, and sports courts with no firm timeline. Still, project leaders insist they're on track for April 4th, 2026. The big question is, who's paying for all of this? This is where it gets really interesting. The $1.3 billion price tag is being covered 100% through private funding, meaning no city money and not a single taxpayer dollar is going into construction. The ownership group and investment firm Ares Management are betting everything on this project's success. In April 2025, they secured a massive $650 million loan from JP Chase, which became the largest construction loan in South Florida that year. And that loan is only part of the equation. Under the 99-year lease, Miami Freedom Park will pay the city annual rent starting at just over $4 million, with payments increasing over time based on market value. Over the full term, total rent is projected to reach into the billions. So, with construction costs and long-term lease obligations, how does the ownership group expect the numbers to work? The answer starts with one name that completely transformed the club's business model: Lionel Messi. When Messi signed in July 2023, the club's entire financial picture changed overnight. Before Messi, Inter Miami was making roughly $50 to $60 million a year, like most mid-tier MLS clubs. But in 2024 alone, that number jumped dramatically to over $200 million, nearly 4 times what they were earning before the world's greatest player put on the pink and black jersey. But the business model goes far beyond soccer revenue. The entertainment spaces across the 131-acre complex are designed to operate year-round, with major tenants already locked in and committed. Because in the end, this project isn't just about a stadium. It's about turning Inter Miami from a soccer club into a global entertainment brand. So, what do you think? Is this a brilliant vision or a dangerous gamble? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible soccer stadium stories.